Hi there, mamas. Welcome to the Intuitive Divorce Podcast. I'm Kristen Noel, certified divorce coach and creator of the Best Self Intuitive Divorce, a game-changing program that transforms the experience and outcomes of divorce, one mother at a time. I call it Divorcing Differently. I'm here each week bringing you a quick message to support, inspire, and empower you to achieve the outcomes you want for yourself and your kids. So, let's dive into today's episode. Hey mamas, progress isn't a one-size-fits-all. It isn't linear and usually can't be wrapped up in a shimmery bow all nice and tidy. No, progress marches to the beat of its own drum and can be messy and uncomfortable at first. I know it's so easy to get derailed or feel deflated, especially when navigating new territory, like divorce with kids, especially teenagers. But just because it doesn't look and feel like you thought it would, doesn't mean it isn't progress. That's what I want to talk to you about today. I'm calling this conversation One Step Forward, 3 Steps Back. Recently, after a particularly powerful and moving class, I was breathing in all the evidence of progress I was witnessing in the mamas in our coaching program. My heart smiled. Truth is, I never know when or how it will happen and what it will look like, but it always happens for the mothers who show up to divorce differently, always, in their own divine timing and way. I sent a text to one of the mamas the next day complimenting her on something when she wrote back saying how she actually felt anything but worthy of receiving that compliment because she had lost it on her teenagers the night before. Deep sigh. We've all been there, done that. I know that feeling all too well. I know how one encounter can make you feel like you've unraveled all the progress you've just made. 1 step forward, 3 steps back. Welcome to parenting. When anything is off with our kids, nothing feels right with the world. However, sometimes, especially during the upheaval of divorce, we need to allow for those feelings and sentiments to emerge. Sure, we can make mistakes, say regrettable words, explode and create a mess. But what if I told you that progress isn't always pretty, and that maybe this explosion was actually a breakthrough, something to be welcomed, and dare I even say, celebrated? It's new territory, and just because it doesn't feel like rainbows and unicorns doesn't mean that it isn't movement in the right direction, or that it wasn't something that needed to be expressed. A mama going through divorce has likely lost pieces of herself along the way and shoved her needs to the bottom of the laundry pile as she attends to those of everyone else first. And while that self-sacrifice and giving everyone what they want may have felt magnanimous at first, in the end, no one really wins. When you yes your kids to death, turn a blind eye, give them what they want whenever they want it, and try to make everything better for them all the time, you ultimately rob them of the opportunity to create their own coping mechanisms and skills, and to learn to become accountable for their own feelings and experiences. That's exactly what you don't want. We want the best for our kids, and while we jump in front of a train for them if we could to prevent any pain or life adversity for them, it's just not possible. It's our job to be present, to be the guardrails for them, to love them, nurture them, and create boundaries and discipline them so that they can learn to do this for themselves, so that they can develop their own tools and identity. So yes, taking the path of least resistance with them just to avoid conflict eventually creates more of what you're trying to avoid. No, progress isn't always pretty, mama. It isn't always tied up in a shimmery bow. What you can do is identify what was beneath your losing it. What was the prelude? Were you exhausted, worn out, or worrying the night before? Have you depleted yourself with running the house, working, divorcing, trying to hold it all together? Have you neglected your self-care and attending to your own feelings? Likely yes to all of the above, right? And then what about all the variables that happen in a family unit? Suddenly you have a kid homesick, or a dog that needs an emergency vet visit, or a leak in the roof. Something's got to give. During divorce, we need to offer ourselves grace, the space to ebb and flow and be flexible. We need to be compassionate with ourselves, and we need to care for ourselves so that we can create a solid foundation beneath us and our kids. That may mean letting go of something, removing one commitment or task off your plate so you can breathe. That may mean enlisting your kids to help out, making new house rules, creating new boundaries that you stand by and that will support this new vision. Ultimately, it's about getting clear about what you want and what needs to change, then supporting yourself to the best of your ability. Bottom line, when you lose it, everyone loses. There's a better way, Mama, I promise. And you deserve to be supported through it. And just a final reminder, even when something may feel like you are taking 1 step forward and 3 steps back, movement is progress. And movement in your life can create movement in your divorce. You get to define what real progress is. Thanks for listening to today's episode, but more importantly, for making this time for yourself. If you're a professional, independent mother facing off with divorce, struggling with your emotions, worried about your kids and your future, and want a better way to navigate it all, I've got 2 ways to completely change the trajectory of your divorce and your life starting today. The first is our free divorce workshop. In this training, you'll learn the 3 steps to get off the emotional roller coaster and take control of your divorce so you can save time, money, and heartache for you and your family. Simply go to intuitivedivorce.com/workshop. And the second way is to book a free strategy call with our team, where we'll dive into your situation, your struggles, what you really want, and outline a path to get you there. For a short video and the booking link, go to intuitivedivorce.com/call. Check it out, and I'll see you inside.